A Buckeye linebacker, huh?
Hey, I might have made a little call in there. That's what happens, though. When you're behind the scenes and you get right with the producers, you call the clip.
Man, I need to get on that pay grade.
I'm Joshua Perry. I'm here with my guy, Kenny Bell, and these are the replies. All right, here we go. We're going to dive right into it. We got my guy, Tom Brady, the only Wolverine that I really like. And he was kind of making fun of himself a little bit. So we're watching that game. You know, he's fourth down. No, fourth down already passed, buddy. But he made the little meme here of LeBron in honor of his 4th championship. Not bad for a washed-up old guy, as Tom says. I love hearing it because, you know, people try to say that Tom is old and washed up too. Kenny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, without a doubt. I love that he was having some fun messing around. I thought it was funny. You know, I got a lot of replies like, how the heck did Tom Brady not know it was 4th down? So I love the LeBron meme, but I think he should have the J.R. Smith squinting.
J.R. Smith is probably the best meme around. I know this is supposed to be, you know, Big Ten centered, but got to give a little bit of love to the guy. JR had his jersey off before the game was even over.
Man, he had his jersey off before the clock hit 0, no doubt. All right, moving right along, we got some Big Ten great quarterbacks action last night, Sunday Night Football, Kirk Cousins versus Russell. Man, Russell with the game-winning drive. I can't really say enough about Russell Wilson. He's really established himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You know, when it came down to it and they needed to go, I think it was like 95 yards at the end of the game, there was really no doubt in my mind as that drive started that Russell Wilson could handle that. To see DK Metcalf really start to develop, I know the hype around him was crazy. So to see him really get a number 1 receiver in DK Metcalf, I'm excited about these Seahawks, JP.
No, 100%. And I think it's the maturity of Russ bringing along Metcalf. Their relationship has been well talked about throughout the offseason. But, you know, when you have a veteran of that level and Russ leaning into a young guy, it definitely brings out that relationship. The reality of the situation, man, is he's MVP right now in my mind. MVP of the NFL, the way that he's playing. And to be doing it how he's doing it you know, he's been in the league for a while and he's been one of the guys, but right now kind of having that spotlight and really leaning into it, I think is fantastic. So, you know, all the best to him. I can't say enough good things about him as a player and as a person as well. I know his teammates love him. I know his coach loves him. I love watching him play ball, and I'm excited to see what he does throughout the rest of the season.
Absolutely, yeah. The stage is set for Russell Wilson, the Russell Wilson era, really to not necessarily begin in the NFL, but with Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, you know, starting to exit stage left a little bit. I think the stage is there for Russell, and you're seeing him really take advantage of it.
We've got my guy Chase Young here, paying a little homage to Alex Smith, the quarterback, you know, getting his time out there for the Washington football team. He said, "Honored to play with number 11, as real of a dude as I've ever seen, #legend. And I never played with Alex Smith, but Urban Meyer, who was my coach in college, coached Alex Smith once upon a time when he was a college player, always talked about the type of leader he was, always talked about the type of pro that he was. When I was playing for the then San Diego Chargers, we played Alex Smith twice a year, and he beat our ass twice a year. He made it look easy too, just the finesse that he played with. And of course they had the weapons when he was in KC, but it was the maturity, it was the knowledge of the game. He always had an answer for anything we threw at him. And to see him coming back from a point where, you know, he had that compound fracture to he had the hospital, whatever that came along with it, the infection where they weren't sure if he was going to survive, to now being back on an NFL stage and performing. Hats off to him. I know it takes a lot of resilience. It takes a real guy to be able to recover from something like that and be back on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on Chase Young to give, you know, a shout out to him, pay homage to, you know, someone that's been around the league a long time. And not only that, but has dominated. I mean, you remember when Alex Smith was in San Francisco, when he was in Kansas City. I mean, dude is a baller, certified, no doubt about it. So to see him get back on the field was extremely powerful. I mean, it kind of was sad to see him in a rainy day in Washington, you know, getting beat up by the Rams and, you know, one of the best defensive fronts in football. So I was a little nervous for him, but gosh, you're absolutely right. It was a powerful moment to see number 11 take the field yesterday. Next up, we got Zeke paying homage and a little tribute to his quarterback, Dak Prescott. Obviously, JP, we hate to see guys get hurt, and especially in the fashion that number 4 got hurt. But there is something to be said about your teammates rallying around you. To see Dallas, battle back, beat the G-men. Then obviously, look, as we take a look at Zeke's Twitter after with his tweet, just saying he loves him. Football's a powerful game, and you hate to see your brothers get hurt like that. So our hearts go out to Dak Prescott without a doubt. But much love to Zeke for paying tribute and showing him some love, JP.
Absolutely, and you kind of see the reaction from the shots during the game of when Dak went down, and all the teammates were very somber, and I think it really was powerful to see how everybody wanted to rally behind him. And the reality of the situation is Ezekiel loves Dak. Like, that tweet, I don't think expresses like the true brotherhood and friendship and love that they have for one another. And it really does say a lot when the quarterback and the running back or the receivers or whoever have that type of relationship on and off the field, because their success is dependent upon one another. And Zeke has been a very successful running back in the NFL. And it's largely because of his skill set, but also the fact that he has the quarterback in place that allows his skills to shine the best. And so it's really profound to see that impact that injury had on their team, just from an emotional standpoint of all the guys. And truly, I know, not to speak for Zeke, because, their relationship is their relationship, but I know how Zeke is when it comes to his teammates, and to see him put that tweet out, I know that's heartfelt, and we're all really thinking about Dak Prescott in this moment.
Absolutely.
We'll head over to Houston with the Texans. We got our guy, Illinois alum Whitney Mercilus, out here baptizing people as he's done his whole career, leading the Texans to their first win of the season. Wanted to give some Illinois guys some love in the league. I know Howard Griffith is going to be watching this, feeling excited that his old school is getting some love. Reality of the situation, Mercilus has been doing this to folks since 2012. 8-year vet, and he hasn't leveled off. It hasn't dropped off at all. It's still explosive. He's dangerous. He's absolutely dangerous when he's on the field. So I love seeing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to get your name in the spotlight when you're playing across from J.J. Watt, but Mercilus has been doing this for a long time, and it's nice to see Fighting Illini on the show. So we gotta get him some more highlights. That's for sure. All right, we're rolling along, and Mike Gesicki rolling. Look at this dude. He's a beast. JP, I'm liking this dude more and more every week. He's getting better and better. Look at my man get hype. Oh, man, for the Penn State fans out there, I know they're loving that. Miami going into San Francisco and dominating. I like this Dolphins team. We talk about them every single week. I'm liking them more and more. How could you hate on a guy like Fitzmagic, JP?
I mean, I don't see how you do it. And when he's throwing to a target like Gesicki, I mean, he's got everything he wants. And right now, I think is a renaissance for the tight end position. We're seeing it in college football with the teams that are playing right now. When you have a tight end that can really flex out as a wide receiver, kind of stretch the field, it presents some issues because your linebackers can't cover him. Your safeties and your corners can't do it either. And we're seeing it in the NFL. Some of those guys are signing huge contracts. I think Gesicki's going to be the next up when his time comes to really get paid that big money. Reality of the situation, man, I love seeing it. I absolutely do, because he's earned everything he's getting. He grinded. He was a great player in college. He's grinding right now. He's getting all the love, and I can really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I think he's going to have a great season this year, and heading into next year, he's going to be, one of the names that they're talking about in that young tight end group that's really phenomenal. Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, Mike Gesicki, those are going to be the playmakers we're going to start talking about at that tight end position over the next few seasons.
And then we got a little Big Ten on Big Ten crime. I know those are my favorite ones. We got C.J. Beathard back there playing quarterback. And my personal guy, Jerome Baker, somebody who I played with at Ohio State, coming in there and doing what he does best. That's tearing up running backs, tearing up quarterbacks, got himself a sack there. When I was at Ohio State, Jerome was a really young player. This man didn't know which way was up. He was, he couldn't get right for a little bit. And then when he did get right, that boy started balling out. And again, he's another one who I've watched grind. He's getting everything he deserves right now. Is one of the most explosive guys I've seen, because he's not a huge linebacker, but he can run like hell. And when he hits somebody, they feel it. And I can really appreciate that out of him. So congrats, my guy, Jerome Baker, for showing out like you usually do.
Absolutely. Congrats to Jerome Baker, no question. But we got to talk about to the producers about how this clip got in there, JP. A Buckeye linebacker, huh?
Hey, I might have made a little call in there. That's what happens, though. When you're behind the scenes and you get right with the producers, you call the clip.
Man, I need to get on that pay grade. Real quick, before we go on this weekend, we never show any love to kickers. Sam Ficken out of Penn State, I want to show him some love. I played against him in college, but I believe he's one of 2 or 3 kickers that has not missed a PAT or a field goal this year. So big shout out to Sam Ficken. Keep kicking it, man.